Greetings from Washington State after following the Columbia River from Portland, Oregon. I'm Chad Lehman, and I will be reporting on our experience from Redwood National Forest and the night in Portland. We woke up in Redwood State Park nice and early at around 6:45. Then we had a quick breakfast of yogurt and hearty granola. After taking down camp and packing our stuff on the bus, we met with Jim Wheeler, who's been a park ranger for 26 years. Over the next 4 hours, he imparted his vast knowledge of the redwoods on us during a hike to the big tree, and we passed the Cathedral of Trees. I have to say that I was expecting a forest much like ours at home, but it was a lot more of a rainforest. I saw a lot of ferns, and it was a lot of moisture, a lot more than I was expecting. So Jim gave us a ton of information over that hike. One thing that stuck with me the most was probably he talked about the bud tissue that redwoods have, and how when they die that new trees sprout out from them. And I just thought of some good connections between that and almost like a church, how an old member can die or just leave roots for other people to grow off of. Just leave good pieces. One thing that we were called to think about before the trip was ancient things. Jim talked about the idea of shibui, which means beauty comes with age. And so I just thought about this, and the beautiful thing about God's creation is that it all has shibui, and it has been here longer than us, and we should be in awe of that every day. So after the hike, we had a lunch of sandwiches once again, and we packed on the bus and drove to Portland, Oregon. So we were asked to sit with new people this time, and I found it amazing how we still had so much of a community atmosphere. We were still talking really loud and having a good time, even though we weren't with our normal friends. And so we arrived at Portland Mennonite Church at 8:30 and went out on the town to find supper. My group really wanted burgers that night, and we passed the Burgerville on the way to the church, and we thought it wouldn't be too long, but we realized it was actually a really long way there, so we had to run. We actually didn't make it back too late, and the burgers were amazing. So that night we had a long group discussion about how we've seen God in the last week or 2 weeks of discovery. It was amazing the different perspectives that each person has, especially on Las Vegas, and whether that's positive or negative or what they took from that. So that was a really long discussion that was very good, and we got to bed probably at around 12:30, but it was good for all of us, I think. So that was our day yesterday. Signing off from Portland, from Washington State. This is Chad Lehman, and this is Discovery.